Why is having a product vision so important for a product owner?
Well, one of the first questions that we're asking product owners when it comes to any kind of coaching conversation is, what is your product basically about? And hopefully the product owner is able to give us a short insight of the main characteristics of his product and able to tell us where the journey should go. If he is able to tell it to us, he would also be able to tell it to his stakeholders, users, or clients. The basic idea behind the product vision is that the product owner should be able to make an elevator pitch. This means that whenever he meets his company's CEO or CIO in the elevator and has a good idea about what to do with his new product, he should be able to convince him or her to invite him for, let's say, a coffee or a conversation in the next week, just during the duration of an elevator ride.
Are there any good examples of product visions?
There are a couple of good examples for product visions which are very well known. For example, JFK's Man on the Moon speech, or Martin Luther King, who stated that he has a dream. Or, of course, Steve Jobs' vision from the iPod. So what we're seeing is that a vision can not only be used for a product, but also for organizational development or social development, as Martin Luther King did. Regardless the fact if it is about the product or somewhere where you would like to go with your society or with your organization, a vision and a clear understanding is helpful to people and guides them on the journey. Therefore, we use the idea of a product vision also when we're talking about an agile transition, for example, where there should be a sponsor on the top who has an idea how the agile organization could look like, what the benefit of agility is, and why it is important to start working agile right now. Very good other examples for product visions can be found at shows as Shark Tank, for example. The principle of Shark Tank is quite easy. There are some people who have a good idea about the product and they would like to get some capital from some venture capitalists. So what they're doing is a pitch and they try to convince the people to invest in their product.
What can we learn from Shark Tank?
At the end of the day, if you look on Shark Tank, there are people who burn for their product, who are quite motivated in selling this to the sharks. So they will give their very best to present their product in quite short time and nail down the most important aspects of this product, how the product solves any kind of social problem or why people would buy it. Some of them also try to hand something out people could touch or work with, simply for the fact that this gives a better impression of how the product feels, smells, tastes, which can be quite important for some products. But it's not only the presenters that we can learn from. You could also learn something from the sharks. For example, which kind of questions are these people asking? A typical question that you would find in such formats is, have you already sold some of the items or is it still an idea? Have you been able to collect customers' feedbacks? What did they say and how have you been able to incorporate that? What is the market looking like? Are there any kind of competitors? And why should we use this approach but not anything else from any other competitor, which in a company would be called a make or buy decision? At the end of the day, you will find product owners who gave a thought on all these questions, who prepared themselves in front of a mirror or together with friends, who thought on how to present their product and how to make it in a very sharp and good way that is well understood or well perceived by stakeholders, by users, or by sharks. And this is something that helps people to understand your product and to develop it, of course. Therefore, working on a product vision is always a quite good first step when you start your journey.